I'll create an 800-word story for part 1. First contact in the void in simple English third-person style, without headings. The stars shone brightly against the black void as the Earth-ship Horizon moved quietly through space. Captain Hana Kim sat in her command chair, looking at the main screen. The Horizon was a research ship. Its job was to explore new parts of space and collect information. "Captain, I'm picking up a strange signal," said Officer Suho. His fingers moved quickly over his control panel. "It's not like anything we've seen before." Captain Kim leaned forward. "Can you show me?" Suho nodded and put the signal on the main screen. It was a pulsing light pattern that seemed to repeat every few seconds. "The ship's computer thinks it's a distress call," said Suho, "but it doesn't match any known pattern." Captain Kim thought for a moment. The rulebook said they should be careful. Unknown signals could mean danger, but something about this signal felt urgent. "How far away is it?" she asked. "About 2 hours at top speed," answered pilot Mina. She was the best pilot on the ship, young but very skilled. Captain Kim made her decision. "Set course for the signal. All crew to alert stations. We might be meeting someone new today. The HFY." Horizon turned and began moving toward the signal. The crew prepared for anything. Dr. Taehyun, the ship's science officer, went to the medical bay to get ready for possible injuries. "What do you think we'll find?" asked Jinwoo, the medical officer. Dr. Taehyun shook his head. "I don't know, but that signal doesn't sound like a normal machine failure. It sounds desperate." 2 hours later, the Horizon slowed down near the source of the signal. What they saw made everyone on the bridge fall silent. A small ship floated in space. It was like nothing they had ever seen before. The ship was shaped like a teardrop with strange patterns on its surface. Parts of it were damaged, with holes and broken pieces floating nearby. "Scan the ship," ordered Captain Kim. Officer Suho worked his controls. "I'm detecting 2 life forms inside. Their life signs are weak and getting weaker." "Is it safe to go inside?" asked Captain Kim. "The air is not breathable for humans," replied Officer Suho. "We would need suits. There's also some kind of energy field around the ship, but it's failing." Captain Kim stood up. "Prepare a rescue. Team, we need to get in there fast." Soon, Captain Kim, Dr. Taehyun, and Security Officer Do-yoon were in spacesuits floating toward the alien ship. They carried medical equipment and translation devices. "The ship's design is amazing," said Dr. Taehyun over the radio. "Look at how the metal seems to flow like water." They found an opening in the damaged hull and carefully went inside. Their suit lights showed a strange interior. The walls seemed to glow faintly, and there were no sharp corners anywhere. Everything was smooth and curved. "This way," said Officer Do-yoon, following a device that tracked the life signs. They moved deeper into the ship. The gravity was lighter than Earth's, making them feel like they were almost floating. They passed rooms with strange objects and symbols they couldn't understand. Finally, they reached what looked like the main control room. In the center was a sight none of them would ever forget. 2 beings huddled together on the floor. They were humanoid in shape, but clearly not human. Their skin seemed to shift color slightly, with a crystal-like quality that reflected the team's lights. The larger being was holding the smaller one protectively. "They're hurt badly," said Dr. Taehyun, checking his medical scanner. "The larger one has severe injuries. The smaller one is weak but more stable." Captain Kim moved closer and knelt down. The larger being, the mother she guessed, looked up at her. Its eyes were large and completely black, but somehow Kim could feel the pain and fear in them. The alien mother reached out one hand toward Captain Kim. In the other arm, she still held her child tightly. The mother's hand trembled with weakness. "We're here to help," said Captain Kim, even though she knew the aliens couldn't understand her words. She hoped they could understand her tone. Dr. Taehyun checked his equipment again. "Captain, they're dying. Their biology is completely different from ours. I don't think I can treat them here." Captain Kim made another quick decision. "We'll bring them to the Horizon. Prepare the medical bay." "But the quarantine rules," began Officer Do-yoon. "Sometimes rules need to be broken to save lives," said Captain Kim firmly. "Let's move quickly. They don't have much time. Carefully, they lifted the two aliens and began carrying them back to their ship. As they moved, the mother alien made a soft humming sound, and the child responded with a similar noise. "I think they're talking to each other," said Dr. Taehyun quietly. "Captain?" Kim nodded. "Let's make sure they can keep talking for a long time to come." The rescue team floated through space carrying two dying aliens toward the waiting horizon. None of them knew it yet, but this moment would change human history forever. The bright lights of the horizon's medical bay flashed with urgent activity. The two alien beings lay on special beds while the human crew worked quickly around them. Dr. Taehyun had never seen anything like these creatures before. Their skin looked like moving crystal that changed colors with their breathing. "Their bodies are breaking down," said Medical Officer Jinwoo, looking at the scanning screens. "I don't understand their biology. How can we help them?" The mother alien, who they had started calling Nara, seemed to be getting weaker by the minute. Her crystal-like skin was losing its shine. The child alien, Miru, was in better shape but still very weak. Captain Kim watched from the doorway. She had broken many rules by bringing these aliens onto her ship. If they carried diseases or were dangerous, she would be responsible. But looking at the mother protecting her child even while dying, Kim knew she had made the right choice. "What have we learned about them?" she asked. Dr. Taehyun pointed to a screen showing strange patterns. "They seem to be made of living crystal, not cells like us. They breathe a different mix of gases, and their bodies use light somehow, almost like plants use sunlight." "Can we save them?" asked Captain Kim. Jinwoo shook his head. "The child might survive, but the mother—" He didn't finish his sentence. Just then, Engineer Junseo burst into the medical bay. "Captain, the alien ship is sending out a new signal. It started right after we left with them." Captain Kim frowned. "Is someone coming to look for them?" "I don't think so," said Junseo. "It looks like an automatic message. Officer Doyen is trying to decode it now." As if on cue, Doyen's voice came through the ship's system. "Captain, I've partly decoded their ship's message. It's a warning. They were running from something called— the closest translation is void eaters or void harvesters. They attacked the alien's ship." The mother alien suddenly made a sound, like breaking glass. Everyone turned to look. She was trying to sit up, her black eyes wide with fear. "She understood us," said Dr. Taehyun in surprise. "Somehow she knows what we're saying." The alien mother reached out toward Captain Kim again. This time small lights danced between her fingers. The lights formed shapes in the air. "She's trying to communicate," whispered Jinwoo. Captain Kim stepped closer. "We want to help you," she said slowly. "Can you understand me?" The alien made more light shapes. They almost looked like star maps and ship designs. Suddenly the ship's alarms began to sound. "Captain!" called Officer Suho through the communication system. "Long-range sensors are picking up multiple objects moving toward us. They match the description of the ships in the alien's warning." Captain Kim looked at Dr. Taehyun. "We need to move the ship to safety. How soon can they be transported?" "Moving them is dangerous," said Dr. Taehyun, "but staying here might be worse." The mother alien suddenly grabbed Dr. Taehyun's arm. Her touch was cool and smooth, like polished stone. Light moved from her arm into his. Dr. Taehyun gasped as strange images filled his mind. Stars, planets, and terrible dark ships that consumed everything in their path. "She's showing me something," he said, his voice shaking. "The void harvesters, they don't just attack ships. They eat entire planets. They're hunters, and they're hunting these aliens specifically." The alien mother released his arm and fell back, even weaker than before. The child made a sad humming sound. "We need to try something," said Dr. Taehyun suddenly. "Their bodies use light energy. What if we try to give them more energy?" "How?" asked Jinwoo. "The ship's solar collectors. We can modify them to focus different light wavelengths directly into this room." Captain Kim nodded. "Do it. Junseo, help." "Him. I'm taking us away from here at top speed." Within minutes, the medical bay was bathed in strange colored lights. The alien child responded immediately, its crystal skin glowing brighter. but the mother barely changed. "It's not enough for her," said Dr. Taehyun. Jinwoo studied his readings. What if we try a direct energy transfer? We could use the emergency life support systems. That could kill whoever connects to it, warned Dr. Taehyun. "I'll do it," said Jinwoo firmly. Before anyone could stop him, Jinwoo attached one end of a medical device to himself and the other to the alien mother. He activated it and gasped in pain. Energy flowed visibly from his body to hers. "Stop!" shouted Dr. Taehyun. But then, something amazing happened. The alien mother's body began to glow brighter. The child reached out and touched both its mother and Jinwoo. Suddenly, all three were connected by streams of light. "The readings are stabilizing," said Dr. Taehyun in wonder. "They're actually connecting at a molecular level." The ship shuddered as Captain Kim pushed the engines to their limits, racing away from the approaching hunters. But in the medical bay, a miracle was happening. The alien mother opened her eyes and looked directly at Jinwoo. A soft voice seemed to appear in everyone's minds. "Thank you." The horizon was now 3 days away from where they had found the alien ship. The mother alien, Nara, was slowly getting better. Her crystal skin glowed more brightly each day. The child, Miru, had recovered, much faster. Now the big challenge was learning to talk with each other. Lieutenant Doyen sat in a special room with Miru. The walls were covered with screens showing pictures, numbers, and simple words. Doyen had been trying many different ways to communicate. "This is an apple," said Doyen, holding up the red fruit. He placed it on the table between them. Miru looked at it with large black eyes. The small alien touched the apple with one crystal finger. Where the finger touched, the apple's skin changed color slightly. "Amazing," whispered Doyen. "You can see more colors than we can, can't you?" Miru made a series of light patterns in the air. By now Doyen had learned this was how the aliens talked, with light shapes instead of sounds. Dr. Taehyun entered the room. Since sharing energy with Nara, he had formed a special connection with the aliens. Sometimes he could understand feelings, or simple ideas from them without words. "Any progress?" asked Dr. Taehyun. "Some," said Doyun. "I think they understand numbers very well, and they learn incredibly fast." Miru suddenly made a complex pattern of lights. The pattern looked like the solar system they were currently traveling through. "Yes, that's where we are," said Dr. Taehyun, pointing to one of the planets on the display. "We're heading to this space station for supplies." Miru's lights changed to show a different star system. In this pattern, one of the planets was broken apart. Dr. Taehyun felt a wave of sadness coming from the small alien. "Is that your home?" Miru made a soft humming sound that they had learned meant yes. "What happened to it?" asked Doyun gently. Before Miru could answer, Captain Kim's voice came through the ship's communication system. "Dr. Taehyun, please, come to the medical bay. Nara is awake and trying to communicate." When they arrived at the medical bay, they found Nara sitting up on her bed. Her crystal body shimmered with deep blue and purple colors. Medical Officer Jinwoo stood nearby, watching carefully. "Since the energy transfer, I've been having strange dreams," said Jinwoo quietly to Dr. Taehyun. "I see places I've never been. I think they're her memories." Nara turned toward them and raised her hands. Complex light patterns formed in the air. The patterns were much more detailed than Miru's. "We need to try something new," said Dr. Taehyun. He turned to the ship's computer. "Computer, can you record these light patterns and try to find any mathematical structure?" "Working," replied the computer. "Pattern analysis suggests a language based on geometric principles, similar to human mathematics but using a base 12 system." This was a breakthrough. Numbers were the same in any language. If they could understand the aliens' math, they could start to understand their language. For the next few hours, Dr. Taehyun, Doyun, and the computer worked together with Nara and Miru. They built a simple translation system based on mathematical principles. Finally, Nara was able to send a message they could understand. We are crystallines, last of our kind, running from void harvesters. Who are the void harvesters? Asked Captain Kim, who had joined them. The answer came slowly through the translation system. Ancient enemy. They eat worlds. They eat crystals. They eat us. Why? Are they hunting you? Asked Dr. Taehyun. Nara's lights flickered in what they now recognized as distress. We know their weakness. We know how to stop them. They know we know. Captain Kim looked serious. Are they still following us? Yes, came the simple answer. Always following. Never stop. Miru moved to Nara's side and their lights combined to show a star map. One star was blinking. That's the Centauri colony, said Captain Kim in shock. There are millions of people living there. Next target, translated the computer from Nara's lights. Harvesters go there soon. Much crystal, many people. The humans looked at each other in horror. An entire human colony was in danger. We need to warn them, said Captain Kim. No time, came Nara's translated message. Harvesters faster than messages. Need to stop them. How? Asked Dr. Taehyun. How can we stop something that destroys entire planets? Nara's lights formed a new pattern. The computer translated, with your help, with human energy, with crystalline knowledge, together. Miru touched Dr. Taehyun's hand. Suddenly he could see in his mind a clear picture of strange ships being disrupted by waves of energy. I think I understand, said Dr. Taehyun slowly. Their knowledge combined with our technology. But it would be dangerous. More dangerous, to do nothing. Translated the computer from Nara's lights. Captain Kim stood straight and made her decision. Then we'll help you. We'll save your family and protect ours too. For the first time, the light patterns from both aliens formed what looked like a smile. The horizon moved through space at its highest speed. The entire crew was working on an important plan. They needed to save the Centauri colony, a human settlement with millions of people. According to Nara and Miru, the dangerous void harvesters were heading there next. Engineer Junseo was in the engine room with Dr. Taehyun. They were trying to build something that had never been made before, a weapon against the harvesters, the Siu. Math doesn't make sense, said Junseo, looking at the complicated plans on his screen. How can we create an energy field that big? Dr. Taehyun pointed to the strange crystal piece that Nara had given them. This is the key. The crystallines use energy in ways we don't understand yet. The crystal piece was a part of Nara herself. She had painfully removed it to help the humans. It glowed with inner light and seemed almost alive. We need more power, said Junseo. Even with all the ship's energy, it won't be enough. In the medical bay, Nara was speaking with Captain Kim through the translation system. Need human energy, the lights translated. Like before, but more. Captain Kim frowned. The energy transfer almost killed Officer Jinwoo last time, and now, you need more? Not just one human, came the translated response. Many humans, small energy from each. Safe that way. Captain Kim thought about this. It was risky, but if the void harvesters reached the colony, millions would die. I'll ask for volunteers, she said finally. Soon, 6 crew members, including Captain Kim herself, were connected to special machines in the medical bay. The machines were designed to safely transfer small amounts of human bioenergy to Nara's crystal piece. Beginning energy transfer, said Medical Officer Jinwoo, who was monitoring everyone's health. The humans felt a strange tingling sensation as their energy flowed into the crystal. It began to glow brighter and brighter. Status report, said Captain Kim weakly. The colony is just 2 hours away, replied Officer Suho from the bridge. But our sensors have detected something following us. 3 large ships moving very fast. They must be the harvesters. Dr. Taehyun carefully took the now glowing crystal to the engine room. Junseo had built a special device that would connect it to the ship's main power system. If this works, said Junseo, we'll be able to create an energy wave that disrupts the harvesters' ships. But we'll only get one chance. Meanwhile, Miru was working with Lieutenant Doyen. teaching him how to control the energy when it was released. Must focus energy here, Miru's lights explained, showing a pattern of the harvester's weak spots. Their ships eat crystal energy, but too much energy at once will break them. The hours passed quickly as everyone prepared. The human volunteers recovered slowly from giving their energy. Captain Kim was back on the bridge, though she still felt weak. "We're approaching the colony," said Pilot Mina. "The harvesters are gaining on us, 20 minutes behind." Captain Kim opened a communication channel to the colony. "This is Captain Hana Kim of the Earth research vessel Horizon. You are in immediate danger. Prepare to evacuate." "What kind of danger?" came the confused reply from the colony. Before Captain Kim could explain, the ship's sensors sounded an alarm. "The harvesters have increased speed," said Officer Suho. "They'll be here in 5 minutes." Dr. Taehyun's voice came through the communication system. "The weapon is ready, Captain, but we need to be closer to the harvesters for it to work." Captain Kim made a hard decision. Pilot Mina turned the ship around, head straight for the harvesters. The crew looked at her in shock. "We need to protect the colony," said Captain Kim firmly. "This is our only chance." The Horizon turned and began moving toward the enemy ships. On the screen, they could see 3 large black ships that seemed to absorb the light around them. 30 seconds to contact, said Pilot Mina, her voice steady despite her fear. In the engine room, Dr. Taehyun and Junseo prepared to activate the weapon. Nara and Miru were there too, their crystal bodies glowing with shared human energy. "Now!" shouted Captain Kim. Dr. Taehyun pressed the activation button. The crystal piece lit up like a small sun. Energy flowed through the ship's systems and burst outward in a huge wave. The wave hit the harvester ships. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then cracks appeared in their black surfaces. Light poured out from inside them. "It's working," shouted Officer Suho. The harvester ships began to break apart. They tried to turn away, but it was too late. The energy wave had disrupted whatever strange technology they used. On the horizon, systems were failing as the energy surge damaged the ship. Lights flickered and alarms sounded. "Engine power dropping," reported Junseo. "We can't maintain the energy wave much longer." But they didn't need to. With a final flash of light, the 3 harvester ships exploded into countless pieces. The bridge. Crew cheered, but Captain Kim remained serious. "Damage report," she ordered. "Engines damaged. Life support stable. Communications down," reported Officer Suho. "We're alive, but we won't be going anywhere for a while." In the engine room, Nara approached the humans. Her light pattern was weak but clear. "Thank you, you saved many lives today, human and crystalline." Dr. Taehyun smiled tiredly. "We still have work to do. There could be more harvesters out there." Nara's lights formed what they now recognized as a crystalline smile. "Together, we will be ready." 3 months had passed since the battle with the Void Harvesters. The Horizon had been repaired with help from the Centauri colony. Now the ship was heading back to Earth. For the first time in history, representatives from another intelligent species would visit the human homeworld. Nara and Miru stood by the viewing window in the ship's main hall. Their crystal bodies reflected the starlight in beautiful patterns. They looked different now. The energy connection with humans had changed them. Small patches of their bodies had taken on a more solid, almost human-like appearance. "Are you nervous about meeting the Earth leaders?" asked Dr. Taehyun, who had joined them. Nara's lights formed the pattern they now knew meant laughter. The translation system spoke her words. "Yes, but also excited. Our people have legends about other intelligent life. We never thought we would meet any." Dr. Taehyun had changed too. Since the energy transfer, he could create small light patterns from his fingertips. It wasn't as complex as the crystalline language, but it was something no human had ever done before. "Earth is very different from your world," he said. "It's mostly water, not crystal, and we have many different types of people. Differences make us stronger together," translated Miru's light pattern. The young crystalline had learned human language faster than Nara, and could now form complete sentences through the translator. On the bridge, Captain Kim was speaking with Earth Command through the communication system. "Yes, sir. The aliens are Peaceful. They helped us defeat a threat that could have destroyed the Centauri colony, she explained. And they may be the last of their species. This is a historic moment, Captain Kim, said the stern face on the screen. The first official meeting between humans and another intelligent species. Your actions will be recorded in history books. I understand, sir, said Captain Kim. But please remember that Nara and Miru are people, not just historic events. They've lost their home. They need our help. In the medical bay, Officer Jinwoo was examining the results of new tests. Since the energy transfer, both humans and crystallines had changed in small but important ways. The humans who had donated energy could now sense light in new ways, and the crystallines had developed small amounts of human-like DNA in their crystal structures. It's like we created something new, he told Medical Officer Yeji. Not just human, not just crystalline, something in between. Is it dangerous? Asked Yeji. Jinwoo shook his head. I don't think so. It seems stable, and it might be the key to helping them build a new home here. The next day, the Horizon entered Earth's solar system. It was the first time Nara and Miru had seen the human homeworld. All the crew gathered in the main hall to watch as the blue planet grew larger on the screen. It's beautiful, translated Miru's lights. So much water. That's where we come from, said Lieutenant Doyen. Our bodies are mostly water, just like your planet was mostly crystal. Nara made a complex light pattern that the translator couldn't fully capture, but everyone felt her meaning, wonder, sadness for what was lost, and hope for the future. As the ship moved into Earth orbit, a message came from the planet's surface. It was from the World Council, the highest human authority. Captain Kim, please bring our guest to the Council Hall in Geneva. We have prepared a special welcome. When the Horizon landed, hundreds of people were waiting. News cameras captured the moment as the ship's door opened. Captain Kim stepped out first, followed by Dr. Tae-hyun and then the two crystallines. The crowd gasped at the sight of Nara and Miru. Their crystal bodies sparkled in Earth sunlight in a way they never had. In space, the head of the World Council stepped forward. On behalf of humanity, I welcome you to Earth. Nara raised her hands and created a beautiful pattern of lights that translated as, "Thank you for saving us. Our old world is gone, but perhaps we can build something new together." Later that day, in a quiet moment away from the cameras, Miru approached a group of human children who had been brought to meet the aliens. The children were shy at first, but then one small girl stepped forward and held out her hand. Miru touched it gently. Where their hands met, a soft glow appeared. The little girl laughed in delight. "Look," she called to the other children. "It tickles." Soon all the children were gathered around Miru, touching the crystal being and watching the light patterns. Nara and the human adults watched with smiles. "This is how it begins," said Dr. Tae-hyun quietly. "Not with big speeches or treaties, but with children playing together." Captain Kim nodded. "We arrived just in time to save them, but maybe they arrived just in time to save us too." "How so?" asked one of the council members. "By reminding us that different doesn't mean dangerous," she replied, "and that sometimes the greatest strength comes from what we can learn from each other." In the golden light of Earth's sunset, human and crystalline stood together, two species that had nearly missed meeting each other, now facing a shared future among the stars.